Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 21 of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage. Remember to get this one to 200 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for What If Naruto was given a second chance on this channel. And also go ahead and enjoy the new episode of What If Naruto was taken and fused with Zetsu over an Anime King 2. And enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto was going to end Orochimaru once and for all, but a demonic gate erupted in front of Naruto as a backlash of the Rasengan exploded outward, shooting Naruto and Orochimaru back after destroying the gate, as Kabuto was the one responsible for that. In a moment notice, Kabuto appeared behind Naruto, ready to end his life. But suddenly a fist connected in his face that sent him sailing back, as it was from Tsunade. As she regained her confidence, she was still shaking, but still, she had to protect Naruto. But what she didn't know was the sword on Naruto's back was going to literally slice Kabuto right in half. But still, she did her best to protect him. As, in that moment of notice, Kabuto and Orochimaru escaped. Tsunade then turned towards Naruto, still shaking a bit as he placed a hand on her shoulder. She felt a strange warmth. It was then that Naruto wanted to make her feel better, but he didn't know how because of this strange blood thing. Jiraiya then came over as Tsunade saw his arms that was bleeding. As she went to help him, but she felt no fear. They were confused and surprised until Naruto looked at Jiraiya's arm and felt a little bit squeamish, but then it vanished, that feeling that he had. How? As Tsunade was confused. Well, Naruto has done stranger things before, but did he just took her phobia away and brought it in himself and then make it disappear? Well, that was just strange. But it happened because Tsunade was no longer afraid, as she decided to put her faith in one more person this time, as she knew that Konoha needed her right now. And as a tribute to her fallen sensei, she accepted the job to become the 5th Hokage of Konoha. So with that, the group headed back to Konoha, as Hinata and Rukia were doing a bit of a sparring session, as Hinata found out that Rukia was stronger than she thought, as Rukia was able to subdue her after the both of them clashed. As Naruto came back, as Tsunade had to do a lot of things as she was currently busy at the moment. Jiraiya told Naruto that he needed to talk to him soon, but for now, he's gonna be gone from the village for a while, but he will be back soon. As Naruto spent the remaining time with Rukia and Anko. A week passed after that. Sasuke was still in the hospital, as his body just needed rest. He should be out soon enough. As Orochimaru had a plan. Well, he had a plan that he already placed in motion. After all, that boy Naruto was becoming a thorn in his side. So why not turn him against the villages? After all, the Hidden Stone and Kumo suffered a lot of destruction because of what happened. Many people died when the earth literally shook like it was going to be destroyed. Tumbles, mountains tumbled down, crushing families and all that. After all, a threat to the world is something that two nations has to unite against, right? Naruto was called to the office, as they explained. Well, Tsunade left out the point about the Zack, saying that Rukia and Naruto told her that he wouldn't be able to come to this world unless Naruto opened that portal, well, which he can't do right now. So there was no way that that man was coming here. So they just gave the council a bit of information about Naruto, not anything too big. As Rukia told them if any of them try anything against her brother, know that she's here. Tsunade promoted Naruto to Chunin, as she gave him missions. Many of the other ninjas were out. as he was supposed to go to the stand and hand them over the scroll and wait here for them to sign it, as Hinata was there to accompany him on this mission as they headed towards the hidden stand, as they met up back with Temari and Kankuro and Gaara. As Gaara has changed a lot recently, as Naruto gave the scroll to Baki, it will take a couple of days for the council to look over the scroll. As for the remaining time, Temari wanted to thank Naruto personally by showing him around the hidden stand, but Naruto invited Hinata, which Temari didn't really like because she wanted to be alone with him. But still, he invited his best friend along, as Naruto couldn't just leave Hinata here alone. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. Both Naruto and Hinata were currently inside of a rock golem. It was big enough for the both of them to hold inside, without even after closing on each other. But the two of them were not saying anything. Well, Hinata was looking at Naruto wondering what was wrong. That was because he was thinking something that Temari said to him. Yes, it has been 1 week now. It took that long for them to stay at the hidden stand for them to get the new 3D sign. But he didn't have a bad time. Well, it was actually a good time. But there was something that was racking his brain rather hard. Something that Temari said to him. Flashback. As they had went on that little, well, it wasn't really a date. It was just an introduction to the hidden stand. That Temari showed them around. It was currently night time, as Naruto and Hinata were staying at the Kazekage residence. Naruto was currently outside sitting down. At night, the place was rather cool here, even though the place was scorching in the morning. As he was outside, sitting on top of the Kazekage's mansion, when suddenly, he felt a shift of breeze. Trying to sneak up on me, he asked. Just testing if you're a suitable ninja, said Temari. What are you doing up here, she asked. As she watched Naruto sitting down, looking out at the stars. It was the same thing that Gaara usually do. Yes, he'd just be by himself most of the time, when they were, well, family but distant. The nighttime is rather cool out here, said Naruto. And not to mention, the stars are rather beautiful, he said. You know, if I hadn't seen you fight, and seen how strong you are, I would have mistaken you for a soft, gentle person, she said. Well, I'm not a hard brute, he said to her. That's not what I mean, she said, as she sat down as well. Despite your strong attitude, you're still rather calm. And nice, very nice. I mean, do you think if other shinobis got betrayed, even if it was by accident, by another village, and the person that they nearly fought to death was here, they would be as calm as you? Or accept the other shinobi friendship so easily, considering that Gaara nearly killed you, and yet you still spared him. You even talked to him and you changed him for the better. And that's something I'll always be thankful to you for. Well, we're kind of the same, said Naruto. And he had it really hard. So I know what he's going through. Can't let one of my kinds just suffer like that, said Naruto. As he placed his hand in his head and leaned back, looking up. As Temari's cheeks got a bit red, seeing the moonlight just sparkling on his face. It's a shame, she said, that you're already in love. As she got up. Huh? What are you talking about, said Naruto. Oh, you know, that girl, Hinata, she said. Huh? No, you have it wrong, said Naruto. She's my best friend. It seems like you haven't seen it yet. And because of helping Gaara, I suppose I can let you see it. Sometimes guys are really airheads, she said. Hey, said Naruto. But you are, she said. Can't you see that that girl is in love with you? What? And that you're in love with her as well. But just because you put the guys as friendship over it, you think that is the case right there. When I was showing you guys around the hidden stand, I saw the way she looked at you. And the way you look at her. But you just think that is friendship. But trust me, it's not. I've seen that look before. You two have been friends for so long. Cared about each other, risking your life for each other. That's more than friendship, said Temari. Just think about it. As with that, she jumped off the roof and landed toward the side as she walked down with Chakra. Naruto was confused what she was talking about. She was wrong. Hinata was his best friend. Yeah, that was all. Nothing more, she was his best friend. Hinata she's just that way. Soft and nice to other people. That's it, right? End of flashback. Naruto-kun. As Naruto turned towards Hinata. What is it, he said. You've been rather quiet lately. Did something happen? Is something wrong, she asked. No, I'm just fine. I'm just thinking, he said. As the rock golem that they were in passed right through the desert, as they entered the land of river, as they need to pass here to go back to the land of fire, As the thing started to make its way through the forest, something felt off. He didn't know what it was. He just felt like something was off. Hinata, as he turned towards her, "Huh? What is?" she asked. "Can you activate your Byakugan?" "Huh? What's wrong?" she said to him. "Just do it," said Naruto. "And check our surroundings." "Sure thing," she said, as she activated her Byakugan. The moment she did though, an explosion went off. An explosion so massive, like at least 100 paper tags erupted, enveloping the stone golem. Every tree in the air was blasted apart, reducing everything to cinders by the explosion. A distant away. "You think that got him?" a masked ninja said. "Well, let's make sure," other one says. He stepped forward. As he was wearing a headband, it was from Kumo. And, surprisingly, beside him other one was wearing a headband. It was from the Hidden Stone. A man was at the front, as he was wearing a mask, a strange looking mask, with two demonic looking eye holes, and sharp rows of teeth. This was a Kinkaku squad from Kumo, not to mention a large portion of the Hidden Stone Anfu and regular ninjas mixed into the fray. A temporary alliance to kill Naruto Uzumaki as the leader of the Kinkaku squad stood there. As he narrowed his eyes down towards the massive explosion, as he gave the signal to move off, as the leader of the other ninjas gave the signal as well. How did all of this came to be set up? How did they find themselves working with the Hidden Stone? Well, it all happened the day right after Naruto returned back with Tsunade. Flashback. Oniki was currently in a building, as he was sitting down right at a seat. Across from him was none other than the Raikage. The Hidden Stone and Kuma has been working for some time now together. Well, they aren't really big supporters of each other, but they are not that heated towards each other, as the both of them are heated towards Konoha. So that gives them some common ground. They have done some dealings in the past, but what they got together surprised them. The full report, yes, something that the both of them need to come together for. Who was behind the attack? What caused the world to shake like that? What caused many deaths in both of their village? "I got the report a week ago," said Oniki. "Me too," said the Raikage. "I have tested the credibilities and find out some information that you'd want to hear. It seems that it wasn't false. This is a better way for us to talk than sending letters to each other. So I can tell you that this is a reality. This boy, Naruto Uzumaki, he was truly behind all of this chaos. Konoha was attacked by Orochimaru of the Sannin, and this boy lost his composure by seeing his village get attacked. The credible source from the ninjas that were there, most of them that make it out alive, they have witnessed what happened. The Sand Ninjas, rumors have been spreading. Up to this point we had no clear idea who was exactly behind this, but now we have a name to a face. Naruto Uzumaki, genin of Konoha. To think that one boy could call something like this. This information you've been given, is it reliable?" The Raikage slid a file over towards Oniki as Oniki caught it. "That is all the information we've been given on the boy." "And who exactly gave you this information?" "I won't cut around the corners. This is from one of Orochimaru's lackey, and you would trust that snake." "Orochimaru is scared," said the Raikage. "He's scared of this boy. That should show you how dangerous this boy is. And as I've heard, many of your citizens and even ninjas died when that happened, including mine. Hundreds worth of civilians and a handful worth of shinobis got slaughtered when the mountains all collapsed on each other. So I know that you are too angry about the situation. This boy is unstable from what I got from the reports, able to lose his mind at any moment notice. Orochimaru or none of his lackeys exactly knew how this boy is able to do this, but it seems like he's just different. From the reports I've been given, this boy possesses powers that are supernatural to anything that we ninjas can do. Powers to conjure up things out of thin air. The boy was literally able to change the moon, turning it pitch red. You can see what kind of a threat he is." As Oniki read over the report, as there was a full description of Naruto in there, Kabuto had been a spy in Konoha for a long time now, so he had a lot on Naruto. And what do you suggest we do about this? Many of our people have been killed. Even if that happened, do you really think the Hokage is gonna take liability and offer up this boy to us? No, I don't believe so. But I've gotten a new report on the boy's recent actions. Even though we haven't been fully cooperating with each other, it is for the best that we join forces for this one, to wipe this boy off the face of the earth. And why would you side with me for this, said Oniki? Don't you have the manpower or the strength to take him down? Well, this is just a gesture of future friendship, said the Raikage. After all your grudges with Konoha, and especially the Yellow Flash, I suppose you'd want to be involved in this. As Oniki looked over at the Raikage, before looking back down the report. End of flashback. From there, agreements were made. Orochimaru had his man, Kabuto, stalking Naruto. As they were off a long distance, dressing up as merchants to make their way around and pass Naruto on the road, where they study his movements, hiding in the desert, hiding under sand for days, waiting. Yes, that is what they did, to find out the information that Naruto was currently at the hidden sand as he was making his way back now. And the trap was set. An explosion that could level a small village, literally ripped through everything in the forest, taking out a huge chunk of the large acres. The Kinkaku squad and the other ninjas made their way down, as envoys from each, Stone and Kumo were there, not to mention elite ninjas. The reason being, they'd been told that this boy is so skilled, he's been able to take out Orochimaru Sannin on its own, like it was literal child's play. It was difficult for Orochimaru to report that. Orochimaru wasn't saving any face now. He told the Raikage what he needs to know. After all, for Naruto to get eliminated, the world has to be bothered with him right now. And also, he needs to sneak his precious Sasuke out of Konoha. The Stone Force is currently working on that. So with the village at war, he could take Sasuke and still be underground and do all of his experiments that he wants, and no one will be able to get in his way. Yes, that was the perfect thing to do right now. So that is why he told them whatever they need to know. Well, except for showing up in face. Message were good enough. And the both of them took to it rather quickly, yes. After so many deaths in their village, they already wanted to know who was responsible. They already know that it was someone at Konoha, but they couldn't put a name to a face, but now they did. Orochimaru had all this information after all. Meanwhile, back to the fighting era. The Kinkaku squad and the Stone Shinobis made their way down there. When they arrived, the stone golem that Naruto was inside of broke open, revealing Naruto inside. It was spacious enough, chains were wrapped all around him like a ball. The chains then separated apart to show Naruto covering Hinata. Naruto-kun, she said. When the explosion went off, he dived right on top of her to protect her with his body after bringing up these chains. As Naruto narrowed his eyes all around. This is bad, kid, said Yamato, as he could see as well. Naruto was surrounded by yards upon yards of ninjas. Most of them were in masks. What the hell is going on, Naruto said. Who are you He stopped as he noticed a headband. As he placed his hand on Hinata, that was Kumo, the villager that was responsible for Neji's father's death. As they tried to kidnap Hinata when she was 3 years old, one of the ninjas stepped forward. Don't worry, kid. We're not after her. It's you that we want, the man said. For all that you've done, you deserve to die. But getting her and bringing her back for our Raikage would prove how efficient we are. But if killing her means killing you as well, well then, I suppose we have to make a choice. As the man placed his hand behind him and flashed a hand sign, suddenly the man vanished in Shanshin. The earth started to rumble as several dozen earth ninjas all around slammed their hands on the ground. Naruto grabbed Hinata's hand and threw her right up into the air as he jumped up as well, but a chain latched onto his foot and pulled him back into the earth. Several earth spikes erupted. Hinata cried out his name as she saw them tear right through his flesh. One of them piercing through his stomach, two of them going through his arms, and two of them going through his legs. Naruto-kun, the Kyuubi, cried out. As Hinata was about to fall, Naruto touched one of the spikes. Animate, he said. The spikes then extended as it turned soft at the tip and wrapped around Hinata before pushing her body over to the side. Earth style, earth burial. The earth then sank and broke as Naruto's body was pulled underneath. Lightning release, lightning chasm. As several Kumo shinobis went through hands and slammed their hands on the ground, an electric current came through the ground and exploded. They all had to jump back at the tidal wave of electricity, ripping through the earth, destroying everything. Hinata screamed out Naruto's name as she watched a purely devastating technique. She placed her hand in front of her face as her body was thrown back violently because of the explosion, as her back smashed into a tree. I guess we overestimate him, the leader of Kinkoku Squad said as he looked down there. Yeah, there is no way he's getting up from that, the commander of the regular Kumo ninja said. Well, a successful mission is better than a failed mission, the stone commander said, as they all looked down towards the destruction that was down there now. As the commander of the Kumo squad looked over, "Go get the Hyuga," he said. Three of his ninja rushed forward as they made their way towards where the Hyuga was sent. As they found her rather quickly as Hinata got to her feet, bruises and cuts were all over her. Her back was hurting her but she stood firm. She could not cry right now. Naruto-kun is fine. That's what she told herself, he couldn't be dead as she went into her Hyugan strike. Little girl, do you really think you can take all three of us? One of them said. We are elite Jonins. Surrender before you get hurt. I will not, she said. Naruto-kun is just fine. And you all gonna pay, she said. Anger written all over her face, her Byakugan activated. Naruto-kun, that's all you call him. You really think he's gonna survive? Something like the man couldn't finish anything as a plant erupted from the ground and wrapped around his throat. His neck was pulled back so violently a cracking sound could be heard. As it snapped, his body was thrown away. The other two jumped away, but two hands erupted from the trees behind him and grabbed them. As spikes came out of the hands and ripped through their bodies, threw them to the side. Naruto burst out of the earth. He was in a bad condition. Kyuubi, he said. I'm working as hard as I can, she said, as she kept on spreading her power. Blood was oozing from Naruto's mouth. Hinata's eyes went wide when she noticed. Naruto-kun, your arm. Naruto looked down, and yes, there was nothing there. His left arm was gone. As Naruto's eyes were wide, to save himself from that explosion of lightning, he had to use something to force himself underground. And it was his arm that was caught up in the backlash. Hinata, are you okay? He asked. I'm fine, but you're... Watch out, she said, as Naruto ducked just in time. Several strands of his hair got sliced off, a sword nearly taking off his head. As he spun around his right arm, but suddenly a chain burst from the ground. As his arm was wrapped up in the chain before, a ninja jumped from the ground, an earth ninja, as he yanked the chain so hard, pulling Naruto forward. Naruto closed his eyes. In a split second he entered Sage mode as he stomped his foot into the ground. He grabbed the chain and pulled the man forward as he was about to smash his head against the man's head. But a chain wrapped around his throat and yanked him backwards. As another Earth Ninja popped from the ground, Hinata shot forward towards the Earth Ninja, thrust out her palm, but the Kumo Ninja flipped over his head as he brought down his blade. Naruto twists his body and spin as he slammed the other Stone Ninja that was holding onto his wrist with the chain right into the Kumo Ninja, knocking him away. As Hinata kept moving forward towards the Earth Ninja that had the chain around Naruto's neck. But before she could, as Naruto's eyes went wide when he saw a smirk on the man's face, the man substituted the log, but this was no ordinary log, as it was filled with explosive tags. Knowing that he had no time to get the both of them out of there, Naruto touched the ground slightly before jumping right in front of Hinata, as he held out his hand, trying to create a shield right in front of her, as a stone barricade came right in front of her to lessen the explosion. And his body was another protective field. As the thing went off, the explosion rocked where they were. Hinata's body was sent sailing back because of the explosion, breaking through the earth wall that Naruto created, as her eyes went wide when she crashed down. Because if that happened to the wall, his body that he put in the way. When she looked, she saw Naruto there. His body was smoking. He was down on one knee. Before she could even react, several figures landed all around them as they all started to fire off beams of lightning. Several of them strike right into Naruto. His body was infused with Sage mode at the moment, so it was harder to pierce his defense, until they kicked up the notch as he was thrown back violently. As Hinata dashed forward, she struck one of them right into the leg. The man collapsed down as she brought to her feet and kicked him right in the head, knocked him to the ground. She twisted her body just in time, her fist glowing with chakra, she struck right into one of them. As the man felt all sensation in his legs just vanished as he collapsed down, where she slammed her hand right in his head as he went unconscious. As she moved off, the ground exploded underneath her, but she twisted her body, her beacon allowing her full vision. Several dozen kunais rained down on her as her eyes went wide. As she was about to do the rotation, but the earth gave out underneath her as she lost her footing as several chains lashed her in both of her hands. As a fist smashed right in her face, sending her sailing back, she smashed into a tree. The stone ninjas used a chain as they wrapped it around her, before one of them pulled out a seal as he slapped it right on her forehead. Enough talking from you. You're lucky that these Kumo ninjas want you alive, or you'd already been dead. As he looked over, you're quite strong though. Those are 2 Jonin elite shinobis, and you were able to take them out. I give you props for that, girl. Naruto said Hinata. Don't worry. He's gonna be dealt with soon enough. Back with Naruto, his face was planted in a tree trunk as he slowly picked himself up, unbalanced because of the one-arm thing. Blood was oozing out of a lot of part of his body. The wounds that the Kyuubi was healing up, that she was trying her best to do, they had opened up even more because of the lightning attack. As Naruto lifted himself up, "Kid, you have to get out of here," said Yamato. "There's too much of them, and more are coming. This is an entire brigade of elite Jonin 11 ninjas just to take you out." "But," Hinata said Naruto as he got to his feet, "I can't just leave her." As he snapped up his head to see a hail of kunais coming down towards him, he slammed his hand on the ground as he lifted it back up as a massive mirror created right in front of him. Several thousand kunais came out of the mirrors, replicating what was coming at him, but by a lot more, as they deflected all of the kunais and rained down more towards his targets. Many of the ninjas shot out of the forest and the bushes before the earth under him cracked open once again. This time steam came out of it as the steam filled his vision. Naruto took in a deep breath as he then released it, releasing a massive gust that blew away all the steam before he slammed his hand on the ground once again. Several plants then erupted from the ground vines as they lashed out into the forest. Many ninjas started to scream as the vines started to erupt into something dangerous. As the top of the vines opened up to show sharp pointed teeth as they started to show down on ninjas that they captured, as screaming could be heard all around him. As Naruto dashed forward to find Hinata as soon as possible, as he made his way over there. Stop right there. As Naruto had to come to a complete stop. Naruto, don't stop, do what you have to do, said Hinata. Shut up, bitch, the man said as he pressed a sword closer towards Hinata's throat. As a bit of blood started to drip down. Stop that, you bastard, Naruto said. Then, stand still and die, the man said. And who knows, I'll probably let her go. But come any further, and she dies. Naruto-kun, don't worry about me, she said. I said shut up as the man smashed his fist right into her face. Naruto lost it as he dashed forward. The man then smirked. In his blind rage, Naruto did not notice. Several explosive tags went off in front of him as they smashed right into him with such terrible force. His body was sent sailing back as he landed right into the grasp of an Earth Golem that grabbed onto him tight. The commander of the Earth Squad was there, as he was the one in control of this Earth Golem. It smashed Naruto head first into the ground. Before, the thing held on to Naruto's arm. Before, a loud cracking sound could be heard. Naruto cried out in pain as the Earth Golem popped his arm out of the socket, crushing the bones inside of it. The Stone Commander was sweating because he had to keep on pumping a lot of chakra into the Earth Golem. Whatever this kid's skin was made out of, it was damn hard tough. But he crushed the bones inside the arm before the Earth Golem ripped and started to pull even more. Naruto cried out in pain as his arm was ripped off. Hinata's eyes went wide as she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Her mind just freezing up at the sight that she was seeing. As Naruto was on the ground bleeding badly, here she was tied up and knocked out and she couldn't do anything. She couldn't save him. His two arms are now gone. Inside the mindscape, the Kyuubi and Yamato were standing there. The Kyuubi didn't know why, but she couldn't filter her chakra through the seal no matter what. She could give him that healing process and heal and ability, but this thing, whatever this white thing was, every time she poured her chakra for Naruto to go angry and rampage at the moment, she could not. Because at the moment, they need for him to get crazy. They need for him to get angry because that was the only way he was going to survive this. But all for her chakra. Why, damn it, why, she said. Do you want him to die, she screamed, as she looked at the white dome inside the mindscape. Yamato was furious as he was cursing himself. There was nothing he could do about this situation. After what Ursa told him, that it was a magical, powerful book, something that went down in history because he was so great. But now what was he doing? Watching his friend die? And this thing, the Kyuubi couldn't port her power to let Naruto lose himself in her chakra. Her chakra that would make him go crazy at the moment, which he really needed because without it he would die. And why wasn't this thing helping? Why was it cracking? Why was he giving into this power? He needs it right now, kid. You need to let go. You need to release it now, said Yamato as he screamed. But nothing. The both of them could hear nothing at all. Kid, what's going on? They screamed. Said the voice. He's not hearing you. He's currently dying at the moment. Who are you? Said the Kyuubi. This person looked like Naruto, but it was not. It wasn't him alone there. There were two of them. Yes, two of them there. The Kyuubi tried to contact Naruto-kun, but she heard nothing. It was like she was blocked off. What have you done? She said. You see, I told you. Using 2% of his power. You think that's gonna help him against those ninjas? He hasn't fully adapted to us yet. He hasn't fully consumed us yet to achieve what he's truly capable of. 98% of his power is still locked away. So of course he would be weak. As two people were standing there, the two of them were Naruto. But the two of them had two differences. One of them had black eyes with long black hair. The other one had long silver hair with silver eyes. Who are you people? Said the Kyuubi. Are you the one doing this? Why can't I talk to him? She said. And why can't my chakra go out there? Oh, I'm doing that, the black hair one said. You see, your chakra, this, whatever this thing is, yeah, chakra. He said in a nonchalant tone. We don't really like it. After all, why should he rely on you when he don't rely on us? Bastard, said the Kyuubi. Release this now! As he waved his finger no, she lashed out towards him with her tails. He simply smirked as he flicked his finger. Suddenly, a ripple explosion ripped right through the mindscape and smashed right into her, as her body smashed through her house and sent sailing and smashed into the far mountain of the mindscape. Annoying fox, he said. He then looked over back to the silver hair one. Who are you people? Said Yamato. Oh, we're not people. You know us. What are you talking about? I mean, we're Naruto. You're not Naruto, said Yamato. Well, we are, the silver hair one said. I am the celestial part of him. Well, 49%. And I am the demonic part of him. 49%, the black hair one said. Up to this point, he's just been using 2% of our powers. Recently, he got crazy and released almost all of you. As the black hair one turned to silver hair one. What was it again? It wasn't all of me. It was just 20 more percent. He was still holding back a lot despite the power he has. So if you two are Naruto, why are you doing this? Why are you not helping him? Dumbass, we are him. We're not exactly sentients, but we're alive in him. We're his part that he refused to accept. This power that he refused to control. And we somehow turned our power into consciousness. Given that you see us right here. Can't you see? The black hair one said as Yamato turned to see there was no longer the dome there. There was a strange, small shack. What's that? Well, if he's gonna claim what he truly wants, he's gonna have to come here and take it. And stop acting like a damn coward, the black hair one said. Not using all of your power. 2%. Going through your life using 2%. Not to mention that sage mode, whatever you call it. Our power is the best. Using other people's power is just a... The black hair one was cut off as the Kyuubi came back, but this time in her full form. As she came trampling down upon them. But she was stopped. He stopped her with his finger. She was beyond shock as he rose up and pulled his finger back before flicking it right on her forehead. Her body was smashed down into the ground. Oh girl, you have no idea what you're messing with. I am pure darkness, the power that resides in him. If you only know how strong he was at 100%, you wouldn't be trying anything right now because even I can crush this world, he said. You should go fight Celestial down here. After all, he's a much kinder guy. But if you can't control him, he's gonna take away your emotions. But me, I'm different. I gave you emotions. Dark one to be exact. Meanwhile, on the outside, Naruto was lying face down. His body was aching. Both arms gone, he felt completely useless. He didn't know why, but he couldn't connect to the Kyuubi or Yamato at all. As he looked over at Hinata, she was crying. The ninja stabbed his sword at her throat. Naruto smashed his head in the ground as he couldn't understand. Where was that power that he used? Screw emotions right now, he need to help her. He need to stop these guys. He couldn't even move. The golem was sitting down on his back, holding him down into the ground. He didn't have any arms. This was really an overestimate. The stone, Captain said as he made his way over. All of us for this. I would never defy Tsuchikage, but this was too much for one idiotic boy. I must say he's a bit strong to survive this far and live through this and even kill some of us, but still. This was a waste, the man says. He walked over as he grind his heel on top of Naruto's head, breaking Naruto's nose down into the ground. Animate, Naruto muttered, as he could feel the connection to the earth. Suddenly, a hand shoot from the earth and grab onto the blade. As it snapped it, throwing the man away from Hinata. As Naruto and her eyes met, she knew what he was about to do. But before she could say anything, a large earth dome came around her and locked her inside. A large hand then came from the ground, holding onto the earth dome. Before the arm turned itself, Animate, said Naruto, as the power rushed towards the nearby tree. The tree rooted itself out of the ground and broke. The ninjas moved forward to stop it, but it wasn't going after them. The thing used a leaf to take flight, turned to some sort of bird. Get her back to the village, Naruto muttered. The strange bird tree rushed over and grabbed the stone that Hinata was trapped inside of. As the thing flew off at top speed, making its way to Konoha. The ninjas tried to shoot it down, but the stone simply ricocheted everything back down to them. Huh, the bitch got away, one of them said. Well, it was never our priority to get her. The captain dried down his blade as it ripped through Naruto's back and pierced through his stomach. The earth golem got off Naruto. As Naruto's eyes went even more wide, the man simply smirked. We should finish this off, the leader of the Kinkaku squad said. Wasting time like this will only give him time to recover. Recover? What are you talking about? The captain of the stone squad said, just look at him. This is not, well, in regards to you, but we would like to see him suffer. After all, the Yellow Flash did kill many of our people in the past war. Being able to take down one of their ninjas like this is a great honor for us. Isn't it, boys? He said, as the stone shinobis rallied behind him. He is right, the captain of the Kumo ninja said, as the Kinkaku squad member looked at him. This boy is responsible for so much death because of whatever he did. Literally shaking this world, he's out of control. We are doing the world a service. We cannot allow him to live. But for all the deaths that he has caused, he needs to suffer a lot. As the man picked up Naruto by his hair, with his sword still through his gut. Have any last words? The Kumo captain asked. Naruto spit right in his face, as the man punched Naruto right in his face, knocking Naruto down to the ground. Before the stone captain held on Naruto's hair and dragged him. That was rather disrespectful. As Naruto muttered something. What was that? I couldn't hear you, the man said. I said, you better kill me. Huh. So willing to die? You must be in excruciating pain, the stone captain said. That's not it, Naruto said. If you don't, you're gonna regret it. Because, after what you did, when I come for you people, I won't be holding back. And then you will know what true pain is. Huh. You're right about one thing. We are gonna kill you. But, having so much cockiness, the man started to laugh, making the other stone shinobis laugh. He really is a cocky one. I suppose all three huggers are like that. But it doesn't matter. You're gonna die soon anyways. As the man drive another sword in Naruto's stomach. As Naruto collapsed down to his knees. He didn't understand. Where was the rush of power? Where was the Kyuubi's power? He couldn't feel any of it. His body had even stopped healing. What the hell was going on? You should know, a lot of people that you killed after that day, most of their families are here. And they're gonna want some revenge. The stone shinobi threw Naruto over toward the side. As Naruto looked up, all of the stone ninjas looked down at him. As a kick planted right in his face as they started their assault. Meanwhile, inside the mindscape, the Kyuubi was looking worse for wear. Even in here, she looked rather battered. She was back in her human form. Are you done yet, girl? Why are you doing this? He's gonna die if we don't do something, she said. As she looked at Dark here Naruto, who was going by the name Dark, and the other one going by the name Silver. Dark smiled. He needs this. What the hell does that mean? That's Yamato. As Silver had placed Yamato in a dome that Yamato could not escape. As he banged on the dome no matter what, he could not escape. Well, trust me, he's not gonna die. You idiots, he's dying right now, I can feel it, said the Kyuubi. Girl, you don't understand. We are the embodiment of his power. We know how powerful we are. And trust me, he's not gonna die. He just needs to understand how twisted and messed up this world is. He's been acting too soft lately. We have come to the agreement. We need him to get stronger. There's gonna be a lot of tough challenge in this world. We can feel it. Even beyond this world, there's something out there. Something brewing. Something that is going to be his toughest challenge yet. We need him to get stronger for that. That is why. We can't afford you to help him. We need him to realize he must accept us. Use us. Because we are his power. He must rely on his own strength to show whoever he's up against that he's the one on top. After all, you already know he's a tribrid, a mixture, a mage, already so powerful. Well, he could have beaten those guys if he was prepared. I mean, you guys already know. Even for such a young age, he's really powerful. So if he was prepared, and in this sage mode as you call it, those guys wouldn't even stand a chance. But just because he had to protect that girl, and he got wounded from the start, yeah, it was bad on him. But my power, Darkness said, as he looked down, is beyond anything that you've ever seen. Because there's only one time where he has used my power before, Dark said. It's when he split the sky. So you're the one he used then. So recently, that was you, said Yamato as he looked towards Silver. Yep. That was when he tapped into my power. Only 20% though. Seeing that both of us are half, 50-50. Well, 49-49. Because 2% is inside of him now. Well, he's not even using that. He's only focused on his mage abilities and sage mode. That is why he's still so weak, said Silver. We need him to get toughened up. We need to accept us. That is why he need to understand that he need to rely on his own power. Not yours, said Dark as he looked towards the Kyuubi. He then made his way over. You know, we're not bad people. After all, we are him. As he touched the Kyuubi right in her forehead. Suddenly, she felt her body being flushed with strange dark, corrupted aura washing over her. All of her injuries then vanished. She sat up before Darkness snapped his finger as she was trapped in a black cage. She tried to touch it but she was electrocuted by a dark shock. Can't have you going crazy again. Just wait this out, okay? Back on the outside, Naruto was a mess as he was leaned up against a tree. Well, they had thrown him in it. Looks like this is where I'm gonna die, he thought to himself. He couldn't feel the Kyuubi power. He couldn't sense Hinata anymore. He was not even in sage mode anymore. So he figured he's gonna die here. But at least Hinata got home. At least she was safe. Back at Konoha, Tsunade was in her office. Suddenly she heard crack. She looked towards a photo on her table. It was a picture, showing Naruto and Jiraiya and Shizune. As they took it, coming back to Konoha, they had some fun. After all, they were coming back to the village and she was going to be Hokage, non-stop work. So they stopped at every gambling house. Yes, they enjoyed their time before coming back. She looked at the photo to see the part that Naruto's face was cracked. Tsunade believed in Omen, so she was starting to get worried. Suddenly, Shizune burst into her office. Tsunade-sama, you need to see this. Moments later, Tsunade was at the gate, where a stone golem cracked his head open. As Hinata came toppling out of it, Tsunade rushed over. Her eyes went wide. It was Hinata, in a bad state. Tsunade quickly got to work on healing Hinata's injuries. Hinata slowly opened her eyes. Lady Hokage, Hinata, what happened, said Shizune, as Tsunade was busy healing her injuries. It's Naruto-kun. Ambush. Kumo. Hidden stone, she said. Tsunade did her best to quickly hurry up her healing, as Hinata was fine in a minute or two. As she had no serious damage, she was just a bit exhausted, and her mind seemed to be over-processing things, like the girl was shocked. Hinata, what happened, said Tsunade. We were coming back to the village, Hinata said, tears in her eyes, and then we were attacked by Kumo and stone ninjas. Naruto-kun did his best to fight them off. We tried, but they were just too powerful. They tried to use my life as a bargaining chip, and they hurt him bad. And he used one of his abilities to send me back here. I don't know what happened to him, she said, as she started to break down crying. Hey, what's going on, said a voice, as Anko and Rukia was walking over. The both of them were going around the village as Anko came back from a mission. Rukia liked spending time with Anko. She was nice. And also, she was older than most of the other peers in her class. So she liked spending time with someone a bit older. Wait, Hinata? As Rukia rushed over. What happened to you? As she noticed Hinata crying. Rukia, it's Naruto. Back to the scene. The stone ninjas and the Kumo ninjas were their same way. This brat is stubborn, isn't he? He doesn't even want to die, the captain of the stone ninja said, as he was confused. They haven't went for a direct approach yet to stab him right in the heart, but Naruto had 3 swords running through his stomach, 3 in his torso, up more but not directly in his heart. But yet still he was still alive. You guys have had your fun, Kinkaku squad leader said. Let's end this, he said. Hey, this guy has caused the Hidden Stone enough suffering. Well, not him exactly, but it's a chance for us to get revenge. So, would you mind backing off? This was a temporary alliance for us to take care of one major threat to the entire world. So I suggest you be the one to back off and let me end this. I said no, the man says. He stepped forward. As the two of them glared at each other, Kinkaku's squad member glared under his mask. These snow ninjas were, well, they played too damn much. This was dragging on for a long time. They need to end this now. They don't know what this boy is truly capable of. Even though he might look like he's down, or for the count, something might change. Something might happen. So they need to finish this. The stone ninja sighed, as his Tsuchikage told him not to, get in any trouble with the Kumo ninjas. So, fine. Let's end it. The man then stepped forward before he stopped. It's the brat blade. As he reached down and touched the blade. I guess I'll kill him with this. He tried to move it, but he could not. What the hell? He said, as he struggled to lift the thing off the ground. But he could not, no matter what happened. Come on, you stupid! The moment he said that, he was thrown back violently from an electrocution as he smashed through a tree and slammed into the other one behind it. The Kinkaku member shook his head as he pulled the kunai. As he thrust it forward, the kunai ripped right in Naruto's chest, right where his heart was, before his head slumped down. Well, I suppose this is over with. As he saw the stone ninja getting helped back to his feet, as the man was a bit shaken after that electrocution, he looked at the sword. He was not going to touch that thing, whatever it is. We should return back and report this to our fellow Kages. Yeah, you're right, the man said, still winks a bit from the electrocution. What the hell was that blade, he said. I don't know. But it seems like he doesn't want you to touch it. As he started to walk off, suddenly, the ground started to shake. In a rather calm and gentle manner at first, before the shaking became rather pronounced and stronger. Inside Naruto's mindscape, the Kyuubi felt it. She felt a strange connection broke. Something was wrong. Something was incredibly wrong. Dark started to laugh. What happened, she said. He has finally come here. It seems his body can no longer take anymore. Naruto, said Yamato as he looked over, still trapped in the dome. As Naruto was lying there, no arms. He had no swords in him though, but blood was all over his body. Dark walked over. Pathetic. Strongest thing in the universe right now, and yet here you lie, weakened and broken. Hey. Dark slapped Naruto across his face, can you hear me? But Naruto said nothing. Seems like he's out of it, said Silver. As Silver came over and pressed a hand on Naruto's chest. Look at this, he's dying, Silver said. You fools, if he dies, doesn't that mean you two die as well? Help him, said the Kyuubi. Hey, dumbass, said Dark. As he then smiled, you know what? How about you let me take this one? I mean, last time it was you that took over. He got your personality. Even though it's still him. He got your power. So how about I take this one until he learns how to fully merge the two of us together. Do whatever you want. When he's ready to take my power as well, I'll be ready, said Silver as he walked over. As he then vanished. Yamato was freed. As he got to his feet, Dark then smiled. Well then, it's time that you wake up and stop playing around. Let's go for a full 50%, shall we, said Dark. As he started to merge with Naruto's body before he fully vanished with a last laugh. Naruto's wound started to heal. Everything started to heal up on him. Meanwhile, on the outside, the ninjas then turned back around as Naruto was still lying there, his arms gone. They were about to seal away the body to show their Kages. But suddenly, Naruto's eyes opened up. The two men stood there shocked. There was a kunai right in his chest. How was this kid still alive? But Naruto said nothing, as he just stared out of space. The two men looked at Naruto confused. How the hell was this kid still alive? He was supposed to be dead. Why? How? This was impossible, right? They looked at each other confused as well. Until all of the weapons flew out of Naruto, stabbing two stone shinobis in the process. As Naruto got to his feet, no arms. That don't really feel good, he said. Suddenly a black mass started to gather where his arm was, until his arm then started magically regenerate right in front of their eyes. Bones, skin, tissues, everything started to come together, creating two perfect working arms. You know, sometimes I wonder why do I keep on denying my power when he can make me so powerful, said Naruto. As he licked his lips, he remembered the conversation that Dark had with the Kyuubi. This power that was now flowing through him. His body was broken to the point where he couldn't make a choice for himself, so Dark did it. Dark decided to fully immerse in Naruto, tapping into his demonic part. Yes, this demonic power after all. The demonic power that rushed out of the king of all the demons went inside of him as well when he was a baby. That is why he was a tribe in the first place. And that power manifested into something, well, quite deadly after what his mother did with the seal. As Naruto stepped forward, the trees around him started to wither. Most of them noticed that as trees started to die, plants started to die. Animals in the forest started to drop dead, like life force was literally being sucked out of them. As Naruto simply walked, as things started to die, he touched one of the dried up trees as things disintegrated into dust. As he threw back his head and started to laugh. Now that's what I'm talking about, he screamed. And ripple amount of power then exploded out of his body, spreading through everywhere. Meanwhile, as Rukia was moving as fast as she could, as she was sailing through the sky, she had to make it on time. She just had to get there. She then felt it. A power that she once felt before. This power felt similar to Dizak, but it couldn't be. As her eyes widened, Naruto must be tapping into his inner demon. She increased her speed and made it off as fast as possible. She had to reach her in time. Meanwhile, Naruto started to laugh even more, until strange ripples started to open up all around the forest, even distance away. Amongst the rocky terrain, strange ripples started to open up. Meanwhile, back at the Silver City, Dizak was sitting down furious that the sword managed to get away without him being able to, as he suddenly came to a stop. A strange vortex appeared in front of him. Suddenly, one of his main guards were there. The man narrowed his eyes towards the vortex. "Sir, is that?" Dizak stepped forward. "Come here," he said. The man stepped forward as Dizak grabbed his hand and placed it through the portal. But nothing happened. He thought this was some sort of trap, and these are his pawns to use. As he's a king, he do what he please. A smile came on Dizak's face. As he felt it, a rush of demonic power flew through this portal. "So that's where you are," he said. Dizak then placed his hand on the edge of the portal. As he felt a rush of power sucked into his body, he could feel it. The suffering. That is what Dizak fed off of this world. Whatever it is, there was a lot of people being suffered inside. Pain, anger, rage. Dizak felt incredible. It's been a long time since he felt this way. "Gather the troops," he said. "It seems like I finally found the one that would make me 100%, he said. But guys, if you end episode right here, for us next part, be sure to do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications to be posted. Remember, share to all of your friends and your social media platform. But I'm over now. See you guys soon. Peace.